joining me in the Room podcast to talk about his main event appearance at LFA next Friday night in Niagara Falls, New York, is John, the Warhawk, Piersma. What's up, my man? How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Congratulations on a main event debut for LFA, man. How you feeling about the opportunity, man? It's a big one.
Yeah, good. Super excited about it. Like you said, LFA is a great promotion. To be able to fight for a main event slot, especially in not my hometown, but relatively close to where I live, a lot closer than usual. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be nice. Yeah, 1 week.
How close we talking? You're usually driving hours, like 6 to 8 hours, every fight. How close are we this time to you?
Yeah, so from Rochester, Seneca Niagara Casino is probably like an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. So yes, so not hometown obviously, but I'm like the hometown guy for once. I'm not going all over the country to fight the guy from the hometown. So yeah, that'll be a nice little change up. I'm expecting a pretty decent crowd. I think a lot of people are coming, a lot of people from my gym, a lot of people I know a lot of families going to come up. It's not too far from where I grew up, maybe like 3 hours. So, yeah, it's going to be a good night, and I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ever been to the venue that the fights are at? Have you ever, witnessed an LFA fight there?
Yeah, I have actually. I went there, I don't know, maybe a year ago. One of my buddies I trained with that's actually fighting the card also fought on it. So I went out and watched him. So yeah, I've been to the casino to watch fights. Yeah.
Excellent, my man. As far as the fight, my man, you're taking on a 9-3 dude, man. He hasn't fought in I think since 2020. He was on the Contender Series. 9-3. His last couple of fights come away with losses. What do you know about him, and do you know the reason why he hasn't been around for a few years?
Yeah, so he hasn't fought in but I think it'll be exactly like almost 3 years when I fight him. I'm not really exactly sure why he hasn't fought in 3 years. I don't know if it was injuries or just taking time off or I'm not really exactly sure to that reason. But yeah, we've watched the film. We studied up on him a little bit. He's a solid guy. He's pretty well rounded. He can be dangerous in certain areas. Like you said, he was on the Contender Series, had a close fight. So yeah, he's going to be a tough fight. We're not underestimating him. So yeah, it's going to be a good matchup, and I think it's going to be a fun main event.
Well, I do believe he's associated with Rashad Evans and the Black Zillions. So
Yeah.
he'll be coming into your world. I know he fought at LFA. That was his last fight, but it was 3 years ago. You talked a little bit about him, but John, after 3 years, man, he's a totally different fighter. How far back do you look at his fights, the last couple of them, and what can you get out of it? Knowing in 3 years a fighter can totally change their game.
Yeah, no, we pretty much watched all his fights from beginning of his career till his most recent. At the end of the day, I don't know, maybe he's made some changes, maybe he's, fight a little bit differently, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna you are who you are. Maybe you have a couple different things, but I don't think he's gonna change that much. I don't think he's gonna totally rechange his whole game plan just because he's been out for that 3 years. But yeah, we watched all his fights. We'll be prepared. And like I said, a lot of times I don't really, go into these fights. My training and preparation is more geared towards me anyways. So I'm more focused on going and doing what I want to do and focused on me. We obviously watch film and we make sure we're ready for certain things. But at the end of the day, I focus more on me. And if I go and do my job and do what I can do, I'm not really worried about what he brings.
Well, you have a title in the New England area. You became very familiar to fans and fighters in the New England area in the last year, fighting for a title, winning that title against a hometown favorite. Then you fought again in New England for Combat FC, pretty new promotion, also on Fight Pass. Came away with an upset win in there, your first TKO KO of your career. Then you were scheduled again for Combat FC in, I think, May or June, to fight for their title for against another New England stud who was actually on the Ultimate Fighter show. John, you've been in training camp for a while. That fight was scrapped. Can you talk about that fight and getting ready and the fight falling through and then having to kind of regroup to get another fight? What was that whole situation there?
Yeah, definitely. I like to stay super active. This layoff I've had, and it'll end up being like 7 months from my last fight to this fight. It's been the longest in my pro career. Like I said, I like to stay super active. So after my last fight, a month or two after that one, we got the title fight scheduled for Combat FC. Unfortunately, I think like 5 or 6 weeks out, I got a really bad staph infection in my knee. I couldn't train for a month, really. So I unfortunately had to pull out of that. So that sucked. That was going to be a good opportunity, a good fight against a tough guy. He's been around a long time. That would have been a good win for my resume. But it is what it is. Unfortunately that happened. So I had to pull out. Took the time I had to get healthy. And then, once I was able to get back to full training, we started looking for another one. That's when LFA hit us up and said that we're coming to Seneca Niagara. We want you on the card. I was like, all right, let's do it. So that's kind of how that went. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that fight back in June, but it is what it is. Happens.
Yeah, well, as far as this fight, John, another important fight, main event, your first main event on Fight Pass. But LFA is that league that has sent a lot of fighters to the UFC, to bigger promotions. How excited are you to get on LFA and on Fight Pass and the fight, main event on Fight Pass against a dude with a great record that is known?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great opportunity. Like you said, LFA is a great promotion. Very well known. I mean, they put tons of people in the UFC. So get a chance to fight for them. I haven't fought for them yet. Especially in the main event slot on Fight Pass. It's a big opportunity, and I think when I go out there and put on a great performance and come away with a great finish, it's gonna hopefully put more eyes on me than already are on me. It just gets me that much closer to where I want to be, and hopefully it puts me over the edge to get me to where I want to be. But I can't control that, so we're just gonna focus on going there for a great performance, put on a great show, and getting that win.
Excellent, my man. Well, we're 1 week out before you head to Niagara Falls, New York, man. What's left in a week to do before the biggest fight of your career?
Not too much. We've pretty much done all the preparation. This week's big on making weight, finishing that weight cut. All the last little small things, we'll go over, and the last little minute things we got to do. But yeah, this week is just staying fresh, staying, as healthy as we can, and making weight. That's pretty much this week. All the hard work's been put in, so we just got to get to the fight.
Excellent, my man. Well, last thing here before I give shout outs and stuff. You mentioned you have a training partner or a cross training partner that is on the card with you. This card, correct?
Yeah. So Liam Anderson, I spar with him, train with him quite a bit. He's not at our gym, but a gym out in Rochester. He's a pro fighter. He'll be fighting the card. And also just like a day or yesterday, a woman from our gym is making her pro debut on the card also now. So I won't be the only fighter from our gym fighting.
Excellent, my man. Well, yeah, man, good for Synthesis and great for your career. I know you have some fighters that you have under your wing that you help and corner. When you're not in training camp, man. So the gym's doing well. The cross gyms are doing well. So big couple of weekends coming for you guys at Synthesis and Bone MMA.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Um,
we're getting a good squad out here, and we've been getting after it, and it's gonna be nice to go get a couple wins. Well, Jake Bone's gonna get his tonight, and then we'll get a couple more wins next weekend.
Excellent, my man. Well, last thing, what do we expect to see from the Warhawk September 15th on Fight Pass, fighting at LFA 167?
As always, like I promised, you're gonna see the best version of myself every fight. Get a little bit better. We're gonna add a few things to the game, but expect a great performance and a great finish. Put a stamp on it. Really put on a great performance, and like I said, hopefully puts me over the edge to get me to that next level. Yeah, this is just the first step, and we're gonna go there, put a great performance, great win. We'll go from there, but I'm excited.
Excellent, my man. Well, thank you so much for the time, John. We're 1 week out from this huge event. Last thing, shout outs, sponsors, thank you, social media, and I'll let you get back to your training for this huge fight.
Yeah, let me pull up on my sponsors. So I don't forget anyone. Shout out to my sponsors. Just to name them off: Staglano Builders, Parks Paving. He's a new one. This one, big appreciative. Storage Mall, Ravenwood Golf Course, Next Pro Training, Leading Senior Benefits, Hunt Realty, Mark Agnello, my training partner, sponsored me. Argan Smith Financial Group, my buddy, his STEM Wave treatment program he just started. He has been sponsoring me and taking care of me. That's awesome. Young Chiropractic, and then obviously, my gyms and everyone. But so shout out to everyone, all my training partners, coaches, everyone who's helped me along the way. Shout out to everyone, and excited to put on a show in a week for everyone.
Excellent, my man. Anything other than your Instagram and Facebook on the Jonathan Piersma that you want to send out there?
I don't think so. I think I think that's good. Time to make weight and do this thing.
Excellent, my man. Well, as I said, John, thank you so much for the time. Always a pleasure catching up to you. Congratulations on a huge opportunity here. And we'll be watching Friday night, man, on Fight Pass, watching you get that 7th win, man. And that next step closer to the UFC, man.
Can't wait.
All right, brother.